Hello student, welcome to social science class once again, and today I shall start a new chapter, geography of the world. It is geography chapter 3.
কি করে রাষ্ট্রীয় মর্যাদায় শেষ সম্মান দিই, তো এটুকুই হলো এই অধ্যায়। তোমাদের যদি কোনো প্রশ্ন থাকে তোমরা কমেন্ট বক্সে করতে পারো। আজকে এতটুকুই।
Geography of the world. So a brief introduction of this earth. Earth, the only habitat of man, which is very large, and the total surface area of the earth, it is 510 million square kilometer, and out of this 29% of the total earth surface area, it may be mentioned that only the 29% of the earth surface area, that is 149 million square kilometer, covered by land. 29% it is only covered by the land, and the remaining 71% it is covered by the water, and out of the 29% it is 149 million square kilometer. 149 million square kilometer. So total land area, and it is 29% and 71% it is water. Now this land 29%, this 29% are across in the 7 different continent, and this 71% remaining it is water bodies, different sea, oceans and the other water bodies. Now how this ocean and these continents, how these oceans and the continents plus others, oceans and the continents, how this distributed, how this distribution had taken place. Now according to the continental drift theory, in the early stage, that the about 300 millions year before, the earth lithosphere was a single landmass. Earth lithosphere which was a single landmass and surrounded by this hydrosphere. This lithosphere, which is known as Pangea, single lithosphere, okay, it is single lithosphere surrounded by water body, okay, and that water body surrounded by hydrosphere, that water body, it was known as Penthelasha. This is Penthelasha. Clear? Pangea and Penthelasha. Now after the passage of time, this narrow and this sea, okay, one narrow sea was formed in the middle of this Pangea, this, okay. After this formation of this narrow sea, that Pangea divided into two, okay, and this sea is known as Tethys Sea, okay. Now formation of this Tethys Sea divided this single landmass into two landmass, okay, and these two landmass, it is called as Laurasia and Gondwana land. This northern part, this single landmass of this Pangea, okay, northern part Laurasia and southern part Gondwana land, okay, divided into two, and it is because of formation of sea, Tethys Sea divided this single landmass into two part, and northern part it is called Laurasia and southern part it is Gondwana land. Now it was about 250 million year ago, due to the splitting of this, again this Laurasia and the Gondwana into number of pieces, the present 7 continent forms. Now from this from this Laurasia, according to continental drift theory, North America, Greenland and the landmass of Europe and Asia, north of Indian subcontinent, form from Laurasia. So these are the different other means the landmasses which fragmented or take apart away from this Laurasia. So these are North America, Greenland, Europe, Asia and Indian subcontinent were from the Laurasia. And the other part following the division of Gondwana land. Okay. So when this Gondwana land division taken place, then what are the other landform which form? So these are South America, Africa, Madagascar, India, Arabian region, Malaysia and other islands, Australia, Antarctica were formed. So first single landmass was there, Pangaea, surrounded by hydrosphere, Penthalassha, and this Pangaea divided into two parts because of formation of the Tethys Sea into two parts, that is Laurasia and the Gondwana land. From the Laurasia, the present area which form, it is North America, Greenland, landmass of Europe, Asia and Asia, north of Indian subcontinent were formed. And from the Gondwana land, so these are South America, Africa, Madagascar, India and Arabian region, Malaysia and the other island including that of the Australia and the Antarctica were formed from the Gondwana land. Now, so it was because of this that the hydrosphere and the lithosphere are penetrating within each other through the fragmentation of both the units. So penetrating each other and resulted fragmentation. Now here it is important to remember that the large portion of the hydrosphere, 57%, northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere, 57% is confined in the southern hemisphere. So 57% is in this hemisphere, southern hemisphere. What is? It is hydrosphere. And large portion of lithosphere, 67% of the total land area is confined in the northern hemisphere, and because of this, so 90% of the total world population lives in the northern hemisphere. Clear? Now this first we will discuss. Okay, so this is all about the distribution of the continents and the oceans. Now characteristics of these oceans and its distribution we will discuss now. The water surface, okay, or the surface of the water of the ocean, it is very smooth and everywhere you will find the same level, but the bottom of the ocean, it is, and its topography, it is very rugged. Okay, it is not plain. Okay, it is very rugged. Now that is why this mountain, hill, plateau, plain, etc. make the topography of lithosphere rugged. Mountain, hill, okay, plateaus, all this make the lithosphere rugged, and the same way under the water, like this characteristics or the features are there. Average depth of the oceanic floor, it is 4000 meter. Okay, 4000 meter, and one by one we will discuss the different ocean, and in your book one diagram it is there about this, the coast area and the continental shelf, continental slope and the continental rise. So this you see once, okay, in your book, and the shallow part of the ocean and the sea up to 200 meter depth surrounded surrounding the coastal area, it is called continental shelf, and from the continental shelf, so up to 2000 meter, okay, it is known as the continental slope. So like this, its length, okay, its length, coastal area, continental shelf, continental slope, and the continental rise. So this you remember, and short question comes from this portion. Now the different oceans are there, one by one we will discuss. First, Pacific Ocean. Pacific Ocean, it is Pacific Ocean number one, total land mass, total land area 165 million square kilometer, 165 million square kilometer, and it is the largest ocean. It is the largest ocean in the world. The ocean covers 1/3 of the Earth's surface area. This Pacific Ocean covers total 1/3 of the Earth's surface area, and in term of land, it is little more than 2 times of the Atlantic Ocean. And its location, Pacific Ocean, it is located, okay, so surrounded by Alaska state of United States of America, eastern part of the Siberia, Arctic Ocean of the north, Australia, New Zealand, and the Southern Ocean in the south, and the Southern Ocean on the south, western coast of the north, and South America on the east, and eastern coast of Asia, and the island of Japan, Philippines, etc. on the west. So this is the means the different other this countries, okay, countries in the coastal areas, so which are surrounded, okay, surrounded the Pacific Ocean. Now this Pacific Ocean average depth, it is 5000 meter, and Pacific Ocean at least 20,000 small and big oceanic islands are there. Among them, some of the worth mentioning are Japan, Taiwan, Philippines, New Zealand, Indonesia, Hawaii, etc. are the worth mentioning. Now again, these the trenches are there, okay, so ridges and the trenches, okay, so what is trenches? So it is a narrow hole, okay, it is a narrow hole, and the world deepest trenches, Mariana Trench, it is located in the Pacific Ocean, and some of these other trenches are also there, okay, so Philippines, Tonga, Peru, Chile, etc. are the important. Now some of the sea, okay, which comes under this the Pacific Ocean, these include, okay, so Bering Sea, okay, so Japan Sea, South China Sea, Philippine Sea, Alaska Sea, etc. This is all about this. Now one by one you have to remember the total land area 165 million square kilometer. It is the largest, okay, largest in the world. Pacific Ocean is the largest in the world, and it surrounded, okay, so the Pacific Ocean is surrounded by Alaska state of United States of America, like this in the north, south, okay, so this what are the different other countries which are surrounded, so that you want to write, and the depth, okay, the average depth of the ocean is 5000, and near about 20,000 small and the big oceanic islands are there. Some of the islands which I have already said you, and like this New Zealand, Indonesia, Hawaii, okay, Philippines, many more are there. And the sea includes, okay, South China Sea, Philippines, and the Alaska Sea, etc. Now next it is the Atlantic Sea, with the average area it is 82 million square kilometer. Now in the Pacific Ocean, what we got 165, and the Atlantic it is 82 million square kilometer, and the 1 million is equal to 10 lakh. So it is the second largest ocean in the world, and it covers 1/6 of the total Earth surface area, and it is half of the Pacific Ocean, okay, so it is half of the Pacific Ocean. Atlantic Ocean is the half of the Pacific Ocean, means Atlantic Ocean plus Atlantic Ocean is equal to 1 Pacific Ocean. Now this the shape of the Atlantic Ocean as they exactly look like English alphabet S. Now in the same way like the Pacific Ocean, it is also surrounded by the Greenland, the Arctic Ocean on the north, the Southern Ocean on the south, and the continents of Europe and the Africa on the east, and the contents of the North America and the South America on the west. Now these are the locations, okay, northeast, west, south. So what are the different other countries that you have to write? And the average depth of this ocean is 3000 meter. And in the Pacific Ocean, what I got, it is 5000 meter. Now it may be mentioned here that a ridge, okay, it is also means a narrow slope ridge named mild Atlantic ridge, almost middle of the Atlantic Ocean. In the north-south direction, it is called the Dolphin Rise. In the southern part, it is called the Challenger Rise. Now in the middle, okay, mid-Atlantic ridge, middle of the Atlantic Ocean in the north-south direction, it is called Dolphin, and southern part it is called Challenger. Clear? So these are the two names that you have to remember for 1 mark or 2 mark, important. Now this Atlantic Ocean is also that innumerable small and the big islands are there. Among them, okay, among them Newfoundland, British, this West Indies, Canary, Falkland, and the Bermuda, etc. These are the old mentioning islands, and some of the oceanic trenches are also there. Okay, so Puerto Rico, okay, Romanche, and the southern Sandwich, etc. And some of the sea under this the Atlantic Ocean, okay, like the Pacific Ocean, the sea number of the sea we got, and the here in the Atlantic Ocean also number of the sea comes under, and these are the Mediterranean Sea, Baltic Sea, Caribbean Sea, Gulf of Mexico, and the Labrador Sea, and the Hudson Sea, etc. So this is all about the Atlantic Ocean. So total area it is 82 million square kilometer. Second largest. Depth it is 3000 meter, and some of the islands are Newfoundland, West Indies, Canary, Falkland, Bermuda, etc. And some of the seas are there: Mediterranean Sea, Baltic Sea, Caribbean Sea, and the Gulf of Mexico, Labrador Sea, and the Hudson Sea. This is all about Atlantic. Now next it is Indian Ocean. This Indian Ocean is also with an average 73 million square kilometer, and it is the third largest in the world. And Indian Ocean it is also surrounded, bounded on the north by the Indian subcontinent and south by the Asia, and on the southeast by East Asia, and on the south by the Southern Ocean, and on the east by the Australia and island of the Southeast Asia, and on the west the Africa and the Madagascar. So if you see the map, okay, the map in your book in the left side, okay, left side it is there, and the average depth of this ocean it is 4000. Pacific Ocean we got 5000, Atlantic 3000, Indian Ocean it is 4000 meter average depth. Now the Pacific and the Atlantic, so Indian Ocean, okay, so some of the trenches of the Indian Ocean are Sunda, Chagos, okay, Madagascar, etc. are worth mentioning. Now some of the sea under the Indian Ocean, okay, Arabian Sea, Persian Gulf, okay, Bay of Bengal, Andaman Sea, Red Sea, etc. And some of the islands of Indian Ocean, some of the islands of the Indian Ocean are Sri Lanka, Andaman and Nicobar Island, Indonesia, Maldives, Mauritius, and Madagascar, etc. So here you have to remember the Indian Ocean, 73 million square kilometer. It is the third largest ocean in the world, and the average depth it is the 4000 meters average depth, and the trenches are Sunda, okay, Sunda, Chagos, Madagascar, etc. are worth mentioning, and some of the sea it is the Arabian Sea, Persian Gulf, like this. These are the by making 4 or 5 points under one head, say the Indian Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, or Pacific Ocean. By making 4 or 5 heads, easily you can write and remember chronologically. Here the area 165 Pacific, 82 Atlantic, and 73 it is the Indian Ocean. So and the islands are Sri Lanka, Andaman and Nicobar Island, Indonesia, Maldives, Mauritius, and Madagascar, etc. are the worth mentioning of this the Indian Ocean. So this is all about the three oceans that I have discussed thoroughly here. You go through once, and if doubt is there, you write in the comment section. I shall reply you, and you read at your home. Any doubt? Again I am telling, write in the comment section. I shall reply you. This is all about the day's discussion. Thanks to all.